Are you hearing all about the pilot shortages and economic uncertainty in the aviation world and I'm wondering, is now really the right time to start my training as an airline pilot? If you have been scanning the headlines or scrolling through aviation forums, I know it can feel overwhelming to get a straight answer. Maybe you're worried about spending years and money on flight training only to find a pileup of grounded airplanes and no jobs at the end. But here's the thing. Today, we're going beyond rumor and misconceptions. I'm bringing you hard data, insider analysis, and perspective that could put you miles ahead of average people. By the end, you will have a much clearer, practical sense of the sky ahead for your future as an airline pilot. Let's just start with a question that flips the conventional thinking. What if this tough, uncertain moment is exactly the best time to bet on pilot career? Well, right now, flight schools are quieter than last year. Fewer people are enrolling, mainly because they are worried about the economy and trade wars. But here's the twist. In 2.5 to 3 years, when these fears, trade, and travel rebound, we'll likely see the real shortage of a new pilot to fill cockpit. Meanwhile, airlines are not canceling their long term airplane orders, they're just deferring them. So, when growth returns, there will be open seat and not enough qualified pilots. My challenge to you is, can you look past today's gloom and seize the window? This is your mission. Think about the market cycles, not just today's headlines. Now, let's address one of the biggest misconceptions out there: the pilot shortage. Is this real? Actually, experts like Robert Neer, the chief pilot for Envoy Air, say it's more accurate to call it pilot misplacement. Here's what it means: it's not that there are not enough pilots overall. The real problem is that following a shock like COVID or a recession, pilots are in the wrong positions. It's mainly caused by 90-day training cycle. What it means when airlines don't have enough pilot for specific type of airplane because of the economic balance back, they need a trained pilot for 60 to 90 days to put them in a plane. This bottleneck in the training creates cancellations and delays. But here's another thing. One major airline recently had a 2,000 applicant applying for just 600 jobs. In many places, the current hiring bottleneck is actually a problem with the airline industry, not pilots. So, yes, there are jobs on the horizon, but you need the right credentials at the right time. So let's see FAA statistical data about the pilot hiring and demographics. It's true that in 2022 to 2023, there was a massive pilot hiring from major airline and now it just slowed down. But it just got back to the normal situation as in 2019. By the way, the data in 2025 is calculated only for half a year, so we can expect more number by the end of this year. And the data shows United American Delta Southwest hired the most pilots among those majors. And let's see the pilot certificate over time. It's constantly increasing, but you can see that private pilot versus commercial pilot ratio is around 70%. But commercial pilot versus airline transport ratio is very fluctuating. By the way, this data count only the high certificate the person holds besides instructor certificate. For instance, if someone holds airline transport and commercial certificate, he's considered as an airline transport pilot. Considering there are some people who works at Part 91 and Part 135 without airline transport, the commercial and airline transport certificate pipeline is not really stable. What about the baby boomers who are going to retire? Here's the age group of airline transport certificate. Currently, there are approximately 23,000 pilots in 60 to 64-year age group who need to retire in the next 5 years. And there are 24,000 pilots in the 55 to 59-year age group who need to retire in the next 10 years. Compared to that, there are not enough commercial pilots in the young age group. Those guys who are in the 20 to 29 age group include not only the guys looking for a job, but also flight instructors, pipeline patrols, and Part 135 operate jet FOs who don't have airline transport yet. Right now, regional airlines offer most competitive paycheck in history. 10 to 15 years ago, they were living right below the poverty line. But right now, they start from average $81,000 with a $90 hourly rate and 75-hour monthly flight time guarantee. Even over 100,000 annual salary is not really surprising among those FOs these days. All right, let's get real about what this path looks like. Whether you are going through accelerated program or working through the college cadet pipeline like Delta Propel or Amboy Air's cadet route, your focus and determination will be the difference maker. If you're considering making aviation your second career, maybe you're a doctor or lawyer or in the other field, that transition can absolutely work as long as you're all in so you can compound that knowledge over time. I've known a friend who's doing his instrument rating over 2 years, and every time he goes to fly a plane, he had a problem to remember his previous lesson. Know the risk, know the lifestyle changes, but also recognize the incredible reward down the line. For anyone ready to take a first step, go to pilotschoolfinder.com and discover flight schools in your area. It's a free flight school directory that you can find flight school services and tuition. To sum it up, even in the face of uncertainty, the data, the industry shift, and the long-term trend all point to promising future for airline pilots. If you do your homework, commit to the right training, and start now, you could be taking off right as next wave of opportunity hits. Drop a comment below with where you are on your pilot journey or even your biggest concern. I'd love to hear from you. If you're serious about getting ahead, hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications. And join us for more insight on this industry. Until then, as always, safe flight and happy landings.